Whately Board of Assessors meeting on October 24th.
Yep.
2024. First item on the agenda is approval of minutes from last meeting. Last meeting was on October 3rd.
That was the meeting I was late to.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, we said 10 a.m.
Oh, that was last time, yeah.
Adjourn. Okay. Okay, motion to approve minutes. October 3rd.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. It's approved. Sign off on motor vehicle abatements. Got what, 5 here? Just the cover sheet. And we have to sign each one of these on the front page.
Yes, please.
And also there's one on the back page. What happened with, we used to sign one in a book that had duplicate behind it. Why aren't we? And I was told that was the old method, and the new one was going to be doing it online or something different. Are we eventually going to go to that so we don't have to sign three individual copies of this?
Yeah, I can explore that option.
Okay.
Those are the certificates.
I don't think there's ever been a case where we need proof.
I was just going to ask that. What would cause us not to sign this? It's just like a formality, right?
Yeah. Other than they have to be at least $5, right, or more, and I guess they have to be what, Whately residents?
Yes.
Is the other requirement?
Their vehicle must be
Their
garaged.
vehicle garage here, so that means their vehicle registration has to show a Whately address. Okay.
Like you got a lot of them.
There's 5 groups here. 5, I guess. We're signing 4 times for each one.
Yes.
We delegate this to Stephen to sign.
That's really interesting because it's a formality.
Yeah.
You've never said, "Oops, this isn't going to work." Right?
Yeah.
You ever questioned why?
Not really.
Why
No,
would you?
yeah,
It's data right from the state, right? Or
yeah, and that person is filling out the form. It's his signature on there.
it's all.
Okay, well, let's sign these today. And because I'm thinking, back when we didn't meet much, maybe when COVID was present, and I think we delegated it to Cynthia, the assistant assessor, to sign off or the board. So can we still do that?
Can I suggest, what we might want to do is, so we'll take care of the individuals the way you're doing them at the minute.
Yeah.
But we'll provide a summary sheet on the total we updated each week or whatever.
Yeah.
And a list of them, you can just sign off on the list, and that'll be it.
Okay, that's what this other list was, right? That's what this list that you're saying, that's what
Yeah,
we would sign off on that.
that, you would sign off on that, and that's, you wouldn't even see these other ones if you give Stephen the authority just to sign,
Okay,
or just to clear them.
okay,
Which again is a formality.
Yes, but
What's the
we
ramifications?
we were on commitments. So for that form that you have there, now the accountant will get a copy of that, so she enters that in her books, and we enter our books, so the other what your monthly balance and what's in that. So you have to sign off at least once a week, give her a copy, and the summary sheet is enough. What you're doing there, as long as you give Stephen the authority to use your stamp to do those, that's all.
Okay, because this is a little bit redundant. Was what you're saying?
All right. That's good.
When you look up redundant in the dictionary, it says "see redundant."
And then he'll just be advising you what's happened.
Yeah.
You have to
Again,
sign off.
being new, I don't want to make changes, but Fred, you're good with that, aren't you?
Yeah, anything to cut down paperwork ratio?
Save a couple trees. And it's all, you're right, it's all in the summary right here, right?
Yeah.
Who types all this, gets this ready? Just a report, right?
okay,
So that report is generated from the accounting system data.
Stephen has to go in and enter each one of them so these people get their abatements, so, but then the reports that you've got there is generated. And as long as you're happy with people, if you didn't know what you're happy with, as long as you're happy, you're signing that form, that's good. Makes life easier for everybody.
That works for me. Fred, you're on.
okay, I'll make a motion in the future. We just see the summary of these on one form and sign off on all of these and give the authority to Stephen to process all these payments and deal with whatever he needs to do.
Seconded.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Okay. Approved. Next item, discuss new and old business. What do we have on there, Stephen?
So I believe we wanted to discuss taxation on pools.
Yes,
On what?
above ground pools
Above ground
overall.
pools. Okay,
We ran across an above ground pool in one of our assessments. I'm sorry, in one of our inspections. And it was in, as I remembered, it was in poor condition, but it was an above ground pool. and we're assigning a value to it, that'd be correct. And the question was, should we be? And that other towns maybe not doing this,
Well, the other things that we're gonna do,
don't do it.
so,
And that's above ground.
oh, yeah, and ground's there, so it's tangible,
So that's not excluded. It's just the above ground pools that, in my opinion, don't add any value to a property. They actually don't help the sale overall. To tell you the truth, as a general rule of thumb, from a realtor perspective, below ground pools are not an asset. Do not add general value to a house when you're trying to resell it. But you don't.
So well, what do we do now? We don't assess above ground pools?
Well, we do,
Oh, we do.
and we're questioning, should we? Should an above ground pool, which in my opinion doesn't have value to the property when you resell it, should that be considered a taxable event when they have it now?
Well, what values are we talking about?
Not much,
something, $3,000 or $4,000.
4,000.
which is,
And how many properties do we have?
we wouldn't even know,
Trying to think, well.
because it's taken down each year too, isn't it? Oh, they
no,
leave
not
those up?
necessarily.
Oh.
Uh,
So I guess your question is, what dollar figure are we talking? We don't know, because we're in across one. How many places in town actually have a above ground pool?
Yeah.
What dollar figure are we talking? That's your question.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
Yeah.
And is the value is based on the size of the pool?
Yeah.
And is that value, how does that compare to in-ground pools? The value is less,
Way less.
way less.
Well, which makes sense.
I mean,
'Cause
I think I could cost so much, but
I didn't know these days. 30,000. I wouldn't even want to guess.
And is there an easy way of sorting the database to see how many we have for above ground?
I'm sure we could probably find out. Yeah. Well, yeah, I would recommend you don't do this until 26, and we should do that beforehand, bring it to.
Did you say 26?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
gotcha.
Yeah, by
Gotcha.
26.
Gotcha.
Now we have time to get this all done
Okay.
in an organized manner.
Even if you're talking $100,000, so $140. Yeah, it's $140 in taxes
For 100, yeah.
for $100,000 worth of above ground pools, which I bet you don't have in this town.
Probably not. no.
And then why would other towns not do this? Same reason we're thinking.
Same as you can do solar, solar is a bit more different, but we've noticed from our perspective on the times we've done it, and I did not, it doesn't add any value to the property.
That's my opinion from a real estate point of view. In Florida, it adds value.
We're not above ground, but
Well, and above ground, I don't even know if we have in Florida, below ground pools add values. Everyone who goes there wants a pool. But here, it's a different animal. Above or below.
Trying to think where we seen it above ground. Why did this come up? Did you see one last
Yeah,
week?
we saw one at, whose place did we go to?
it was on Christian land. but
Yes, it
One
was.
In the back, Skrotsky's over there behind.
There's a nice barn. There's a beautiful 4-car. It was a business, 4-car. He's a welding business, 4-car red barn that was used as a business. And behind that, there was a small out storage. And then right there was a little pool. Is that where it was? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Just a little above ground pool that, so that's when the question came up. Should we be valuing, based on you're telling me that other towns don't do it? It makes sense. Again, it makes sense to me because if a buyer comes in and wants to buy a place with an above ground pool, is he going to offer 5,000 more because he wants that pool? No, he's got to deal with that pool, and it's going to be a detriment to him, and he's probably going to may or may not use it, but doesn't want to pay for it because it has little, if no value in the sale of the property.
And then when you looked at, did it have a deck or something else with it?
Well,
Because I think that's what we also looked at
Did it have a
in
deck?
the past.
I don't
Some of these usually have a deck, and I think we would assess that as a deck.
Yeah.
Itself, and in addition to, boy,
I don't remember the deck. I don't remember it.
Yeah, it was a question that Jen asked, so maybe we better discuss it.
She did mention it. Okay, so so then we'll certainly look at this issue, but not for until next year.
it's like greenhouses. I mean,
Yeah.
you can have them with plastic sheeting on them, or you can have glass.
One's
And
more
we assign a different
number.
number for each type of greenhouse. So I guess pools may be the same way. It's whether it's in or above ground or below ground. Or there's even a few that are inside.
Oh, yes.
Well, it's a different
There's
animal.
one, yeah, there's one on Christian Lane is inside the house, inside the used to be garage.
But I think this discussion is specifically above ground pools. The deck issue, I didn't think
Well,
about.
this was above ground inside.
Above ground inside.
Inside, yeah,
What do you do with that?
Really?
yeah,
Well, it's inside, so all of a sudden we have a different.
yeah.
We
above
already have a
ground
reason.
inside. I don't know what we did with that.
You're gonna charge me the building, right?
I was going to say the building.
Yeah, it's I don't think you guys looked at it. It's a red colonial Christian Lane.
Don't remember
Yeah,
that.
back next to it.
So we got- I don't remember
I
looking at
don't
that.
think
It was the next one over from one that we did go to.
you
Yes.
go that way. Yeah. Okay, so I guess for a future meeting,
Pool discussion.
look out the pool is what we're doing. Yeah.
What dollar figure are we talking? My gut says not much.
If you come up with a above ground and well, any kind of pool, I guess, or below ground, whatever, you can sort. Just tell us how many we have and the value.
Okay.
Well, okay, we'll get. Anything else on the new business? Come up.
Did we talk about a mission statement? I mentioned I could write a mission statement for us and have the board look at it as a guide moving forward as to what we're hoping to accomplish, how we want the public to perceive us, how we want to be a more user-friendly board so that we're not, I mean, people have such misconception. We walk in and one lady says, "You're going to raise my taxes." We don't do that. We certainly verify what's there, and our verification may or may not have an impact, but we're not there to collect, raise, or anything. Even in my community where I tell people, we're here to verify. You don't have to let us in. You don't have to let us walk around. But that's our goal, is to verify what we've got. Then we've hired a consultant who can crunch the numbers based on what we've. Even in my community, there's such negativity towards it. It's just unbelievable towards assessors. They ain't getting in my house. And I didn't want to get into the argument as my neighborhood, so I just let it go.
Yeah.
But the point is, from this seat, being new and having, even when I had my house appraised, I was told by everybody, "Don't let them in." I actually walked in and met with Cynthia. You're telling me this? I don't get this. This is foreign to me. So, the mission statement, with the goal of letting us know where we're headed and the goal of educating the Whately public as to who we are and what we do, perhaps. I don't know. I could write something simple if you'd like. I've done it 100 times.
Try that, come up with something.
Okay, I've done it so many times before.
We'll talk about it at a
Okay.
future meeting.
Sure.
One other thing that came up, kind of referenced in the minutes of the last meeting, is since Stephen is not a town employee, or Archie is not a town employee,
Right.
it's a consultant, what authority do we give them to sign for the board, and what, items can they purchase themselves, or does it have to go through the board?
Right.
Because in the past, our assistant assessor was a town employee, so she had authority to do that. I talked to a town administrator about this two weeks ago, whatever, shortly after our meeting. And he says it's up to what this board wants to do and what we want to give Stephen authority to do. The last meeting, he had what, 2 or 3 items on there on our budget that he was going to purchase some material for use here, and I guess he wanted to know, can he go ahead and buy that stuff, or does it have to go through the board? And I think, I don't know what our final decision was. You could go ahead with purchasing them items that you wanted, which comes down to which was in our budget that was approved, and what copies of the budget. Budget has 10 or 12 different items on it, and the only person, department that breakdown of the budget is used for budgeting for the town budget every year. See, after that, that's the latest copy for our budget, and you can see some items are anywhere range from $90 for supplies to software to
Mapping.
consultants, whatever. In the past, since our assessor, assistant assessor was employed, she kind of monitored that and purchased stuff according to this budget that we approved at the beginning of the year. What our accountant does is I think there's 3 or 4 summaries of items. She may just go the budget over to within that budget. It's approved. She approves the invoices, pays them. And I know Stephen brought to the board for the consultants, we signed off the last meeting some of the software fees and for the GIS mapping. I guess for the other items on here, even like dues for meetings or office supplies, you're looking at printer repair, computer. The minimum amounts, I guess, I would recommend that the board allow Stephen to purchase whatever he needs for these items on here, the budget, up to the dollar limit, and if it goes above the dollar limit, then come to the board.
What dollar limit are you thinking?
Well, whatever we have in the budget here, it's items.
Oh, understood. That's what you meant by dollar limit. Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm proposing we do. So if Stephen wants to go buy envelopes or paper or ink for the printer, the board doesn't
Yeah,
need
we
to
don't-
take an action on. That's what I'm proposing we do. As a motion, we could, I'd like to,
I second.
okay. All those approved,
Aye.
which comes down to, I guess, another decision. Who is monitoring the budget? I know our accountant is doing that. She knows what was approved at town meeting. And the board in the past never really got involved in it as long as we were within the limits here. Do we want to have RRG monitor the budget for us?
Is that something in your
Not usual.
contract?
Usually the accountant just keep track of it. She'll come come and say, you haven't got the money for that, you can't do that. I know there's too much money.
Yeah.
But our actually doesn't usually, and that's usually push.
But do we want Stephen to monitor the budget to say, even though the accountant, could approve an item, but it's up to the limit or it's still within the budget
Well, certainly do that.
on her, but do we want RRG to say, okay, you're above the limit for, dues and meetings? Or for computer, you wanna buy a new computer? Or enhance your computer?
That's gonna have to stay.
That's not in the contract. Yeah.
Okay, it's on the contract, oh, okay, but,
You're looking for another check and balance here, aren't you?
right,
I mean, what what is the time limit on spending before you have to go for RFP or? I used to, our client would say to us, you've got $1,000 limit you can spend. After that, you can come here, we have to talk about it.
it's whatever the board, I guess,
Yeah, so
decides.
if you decide to say, we give Stephen Rand up to $500, $600 items.
Yeah.
After that, he needs to talk to you,
Yes, like this big,
Right,
mapping fee. All of a sudden, that one up again, well, it looks like it's not gonna go, but let's say
those are
that,
contracts.
those are contracts anyways.
right,
So that's okay. So we're really talking just minutia monies really for him to just go out and do
right.
spend and get what we need. We're back to the question, where's the check? Where's the
Right,
balance?
where's the check? Because I assume some of these we've already spent. Some items we've already spent on the budget here, and who is tracking that? Or what is the value of that? Who is doing that?
I'm not sure, so obviously, but I would, yeah, I don't mind keeping track of the budget, staying in contact with the accountant, sure that, our books match.
Okay,
I mean, are you worried that someone's gonna go, we need $20,000 for software fees, and we won't be able to approve or disapprove? Is that where you're,
right,
that where you're
I
coming in?
guess, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
At what point does the board become involved?
right.
At $1 figure, like, whoa, we need to look at that. I guess that's kind of your question.
Because I guess why I'm bringing this up, I'm on another committee where they had the same breakdown for the budget, and the chair,
Food.
the chair of that committee monitors expenditures every month, salaries of town employees, different items on here every month, and we had a meeting the other day, okay, we're 3 months into this fiscal year, so 25% of the budget should be spent on, okay, say salaries, so you've got enough money to cover the rest of that items. The chair of the board monitors that to make sure we have money at the end of the year to cover all these. So,
I see what you're saying, like, there's no reason why you could, afford to just go back and say, we're this level of budget.
right, so, but then it comes back to, does the board here do that? And we don't have access to that without going to Stephen or the accountant, versus letting Stephen do that, or have the responsibility placed on Stephen to do that every quarter, tell us how we're doing with the budget.
That's not a big deal, I think you
Right.
should. Stephen can certainly do that.
Okay,
I mean, that's, what you'd be looking at is July, August, September, reporting on the 1st of October,
Yeah.
what the level of the budget is,
yeah, right,
not a problem.
okay.
Basically,
So what I'm saying is, so Stephen would do that for us on a quarterly basis,
all right,
and we wouldn't have to go every time and ask our accountant,
What's
well,
this?
is there
Yeah.
money left in this account?
Right.
Or how much did we spend so far?
Yeah.
that's not a problem. That's just
That's-
generating the page.
Okay, so I make a motion that we, ask Stephen, or ask RG to monitor the budget on a quarterly basis and report to the board. We stand,
Yeah, I'm gonna second that, but you said RRG is gonna monitor. it?
Well,
There was another position.
Just for Stephen.
Stephen, okay,
Yeah, gotcha.
Stephen.
RRG, it's not in RRG's contract.
no.
Yeah, I second what you said.
It's the Whately assessor clerk,
Well, right, that
who
position.
happens to be an employee. I mean, it's not chance, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not others in the company, it's the person in that role.
In that role, right, okay, yes,
So I seconded what you said.
okay, let's vote on that.
Aye.
Aye,
I,
okay. Went through some items on the agenda already, Jenny. We thought we started at 9, but I guess there's some confusion whether
Oh.
we're at 9 or 10 or whatever, so.
okay,
You probably thought that.
I did think
Yeah,
10.
we thought that was.
Yeah,
I did too. Was you my pure look at that was.
That you were, well, next time just call me, because I don't live far away.
Right, we
That's
weren't-
fine.
we weren't sure.
we talked just a few minutes ago about, there was an issue of above ground pools, how do we assess them? And Stephen is going to,
Give us
give
numbers.
us a breakdown of that,
Okay.
future meeting, what
Okay.
What's
many
the
we're talking about.
ramifications?
Yeah.
Dollar wise.
The other thing we approved on the motor vehicle abatements, we get these,
But you need to sign these,
well, that's okay.
probably.
We get the individual ones, the 3 copies that we sign, and the other form. And there's also a total summary page, and what we agreed in the future, we would just get the summary page. And if they look reasonable, just sign off on that and let Stephen
As
sign
clerk,
off
sign
with
off
the
on the
others.
others.
approve that,
So
so.
that was
Okay.
kind of
So
simple.
we won't be
We're-
signing every one of them in the future. so.
Doing a good job trying to streamline things.
Yeah.
We thought it was a little redundant, so.
Well, look at streamline he has himself.
Yeah, right.
Sharp.
So, and we're on discussing doing all business,
Okay.
pools in the budget, I guess, was
Right.
2 items.
Mission statement, I'm gonna try and write one.
Yeah.
You got like,
To other towns.
Okay.
have
got
them.
a mission statement?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna look into something.
Anything else under new old business?
There's like a bunch of those to sign.
Okay.
So I guess along the lines of budgetary concerns, the $5,000 that is set aside for the conversion, that needs to be used before the end of this calendar year. But we have not received a bill from Catalyst,
Yeah.
yet regarding that.
And that's for this past year, or is that starts for next fiscal year? Or
That-
what's it, contract period?
So that is for the upgrade
Uh,
conversion process, which is scheduled for January of next year.
Okay, and that's because of the funding, what's the ARPA funding or something?
Yes.
That has to be spent by invoice by end of this fiscal year,
Calendar.
into this calendar year.
Question.
Okay. So
I think it's the only one.
what are you doing to get that? Invoice?
Question to the board is, do I have for permission to ask for an invoice from the Catalyst prior to upgrade?
For me, they
Makes
should be used to
Okay.
it.
Sounds okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
Yeah.
agree.
okay, we
Second.
agree.
As long as
Go ahead.
Catalyst is clear on what the service, what the payment is for, that it's for something that hasn't happened yet.
Okay. Uh, One, something contracted, signed last meeting, that's it. What was it? For the 40,350. Dora was asking whether that was approved already for a prior year or not. Did she talk to you about that?
No, she
Item.
has not discussed that.
There was 3 or 4 items that we approved for.
Oh, yes, for the mapping system.
Yeah,
Categorizations, yes. So those will be on the warrant for the next town meeting.
we didn't approve them for last year until now.
We did approve them, as just those were billed for FY 24.
Right.
So because they're being paid after that, time.
Oh, okay, so her question was, were they already paid last year and it's coming up again this future year?
No, they are.
Okay, so you got that straightened out.
Yes.
And what dollar figure are we talking?
Oh, combined, I have a list of the invoices in the office, but in it's 500. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. Between 1,000 and 4,000.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Anything else? New business, old business? Okay, next item is tax rate setting. Talk about dates for a classification hearing and discuss some of the LA forms that RG has been working on. Okay. I have enough if you want.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Okay. Go ahead.
Alright, so the first form, apologies for the small print, but it is a spreadsheet showing the sales between January 1st, 2022 to December 31st of
And these include non-arm length sales transaction.
yes.
And then arm's length sales transactions.
Correct.
This translates into new growth. We'll get to there.
No, the new growth that will be our
Okay.
last one.
Okay, gotcha.
Found it now, thank you.
So those are all our sales. Very interesting.
That's a lot.
More so than I would have thought.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Well, somebody's go on sale. They're changing deed. Go
Yeah, that's a good point.
from a
One family.
individual to a, say, a trust or whatever. So just transfer kind of an ownership of that.
Quick claim deed, quick claim.
Yeah.
So it was.
Okay, so what is this gonna be used for now?
So the data from here is going to be used for the 2015, which is the next item in your packet. And this gives a breakdown of class type, the percentage of sales associated with those class types.
Yeah. sales would go back to this other table, okay.
Oh, it does say arm's length. That's interesting.
Then please note the median assessment ratio. The different classes.
Now, what's 563? That's parcels.
Yeah, it's parcel count.
563.
That's more than what's on this page.
Yeah, okay. That's a total number of parcels at the time.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Oh.
What percentage?
Okay.
We used 2.5%. It was sold.
And okay. Those class analyzed 101, 102, 103, 109. That relates to type of real estate.
Right, years, yeah.
The class.
Through,
Class analyzed 101, 102, 103. That's the type of real estate that was sold.
yes,
I'd have to look up those classes, but residential, commercial, out parcels, I don't know.
So the commercial isn't that the 130 to 132?
Anything with a one from it is residential.
Say it again.
Anything with a one.
One is residential. Gotcha.
3 is commercial.
3 is
4
commercial.
residential.
Gotcha.
So what's the 252 on the 130 column?
That's a number of parcels you have on time that
Right.
are big.
Okay, vacant, okay.
Gotcha. Anything with the 1 is residential. Anything with the 3 is commercial. Okay.
Okay. And
COD. I don't know what that is.
Everything. Alright. The COD is a coefficient of the Persian. And for sales in Massachusetts, they have to be, that figure for residential has to be under 10%. Which means that the majority of our sales would fall within 10% of the median. In this case, would fall between 104 and 84%. Ours is better than that. Ours is between 190 or 89. So we're very tight.
Okay.
That 94 means we're 94% of market after we've done the analysis of the property, and that's what your level of assessment is going to be for this year.
Okay.
All since single families are the largest class, which is rural for all Western Massachusetts, basically.
Mhm.
Everything else has to be like 5% of the median. And as you can see, the only three columns we've got are the 103s, 109s. And one sale, 130, 132, one arm's length sale, and the 400 with one arm's length sale. So, try your median's going to be 94. It's going to stay where it was. One sale's not going to make any difference.
Okay.
So what we're saying is, you're 94% of market value
For the
FY25
for the state,
for us.
for just us,
We can
as
make it-
as compared to the state.
No, that's compared to, that is saying that compared to the sales prices, from 2022 and 2023, our values are now 94% of market value.
Okay.
And we
Immediately. Okay.
Good.
So that's where we want to be.
Yeah.
90 to 100%. 10.
Okay, coming from my point of view, I would do my time in Amherst, I would never go above 97. I prefer to be right around 95.
Okay.
If the market would happen to start going backwards, I can say, look, we're above 95% market, so I can time
Gotcha.
too close and it's hard.
Which I am predicting, by the way.
how do we come up with this time period? Is that what you are recommend? Or is that-
Say again?
How do we come up with this 2-year time period, 1-year time period?
DOR says that we have to have at least 2% of the sales in a fiscal year in one calendar year of the largest class, resident, single family.
Okay.
Or we have to use 2-year sales. And for the 2-year sales, you've only got 3.55%, 2 years. So we had to use both years. A bigger community would only use 1 year. Because you have more sales than there are
Right.
transactions.
Why don't we go why don't we use any sales in 24?
because your assessment date is January 1st of 24, can't use anything that happens after the assessment date.
January 24th. Yeah, but the values on all our property cards change until July 1st.
That's true, but we cannot use anything that's sold at till January 1st of this year.
And if we did look at one sold this year in 24, is there any way of doing that, or any benefit to look at 24 to see it? Or we can't do anything with it anymore?
You only got a partial year, so
Partial year, yeah.
So, okay, I think I followed this.
Can you just say the first thing you said again, that it's either 2 years of sales or,
our largest class of properties is single family.
yeah, got that.
We either have to 2% flat, or in this case would be 11 parcels that sold at arm's length transaction in 1 year, 2023, or we have to use the previous year as well, which is 2023. Well, we've only got 20 sales for both years altogether, so we have to use 2 years sales. That is a Department of Revenue regulation.
Okay, tell me again what the 11, where'd the 11 number come
If
from?
you look at the total parcel numbers,
Yeah,
563.
Yeah.
If we had 2%, we were using 11 parcels, and we wouldn't have had 11 this year. Well, it was 12
Okay.
parcels. We wouldn't have 11 this year.
okay, got it. Thank
So
you.
there was 11 in 21 and 8 in 22. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't break it out, but between the 2 years, 22 and 23.
Right.
You're saying because there wasn't 2% of sales, then we need to use a 2-year
Okay.
measurement.
Okay.
And we had, the gateway would have thrown back at us if we hadn't used enough sales.
Yeah, okay. And the sales are based on this other form, and that comes from what, Registry of Deeds?
Yes.
When
Yeah.
sales were,
Going back to the point that it's only a change of deed, it's not necessarily a sale.
Right, if you look down the left, far right hand column.
The notes,
They sold to buyer. Sold to buyer. If somebody next door bought the parcel, it's not an arm's length sale. They bought 2 parcels on the one deed. We can't break out what each one would be, so we have to pull those out. And if you sold it to your children or give it to your children, you can't do that. That's love and affection. Though sometimes I'm sure you don't love all your children.
Could be an argument there.
there's
but
a
that's okay.
moment.
Separation?
Yeah, divorces,
I was wondering, is that a divorce?
yeah, or a state sale.
Yeah.
and it's, yeah,
Now this data is public.
Yes,
I'm not sure the remarks are.
but why not?
I don't think you can go into the public records, Massachusetts land records.
Oh, no, those are ours.
These are,
We supply this to the DOR to say why we get.
gotcha. I just have been so used to looking up records. Usually some of this is confidential. Divorce,
go to the Registry of Deeds, that's what you're looking at.
that's
You can
what,
find all the other columns on here except the last one.
that's right, yeah, that's,
Okay.
yeah.
And they
So,
don't even have the
Yeah, the
Well-
assess is on there.
it says values on it.
If you look at the columns, let's start with the numbers. So,
Yeah.
017, top one.
Yeah.
That's the property type,
Right,
and then the type of sale. Anything with those codes on it means we've thrown them out for various reasons.
right, okay,
And then you've got the sale price.
Right.
And the assessed valuation, as it was in FY 24. And then a proposed value, for what it's going to be for FY 25, and that's what we use to calculate
Which one? The proposed?
the proposed.
so all of these are not on the Registry of Deeds, all these values don't show up.
So the assessed values don't show up in the sales price,
Sale price does, right?
Zillow might have the sales, might have the assessment. Might have the assessment on it, but they might also be a year behind.
So like, just for education purposes, this first one, where the proposed value is less than both the assessed and the sale price. How do we get
I'm
to
glad you picked that one.
situation up? How do we get to that situation?
See that code that's on there, the 017?
Yeah.
You are really pushing what I can see, you guys,
I
but go
see.
ahead.
That's 017, yeah.
I'm getting that better. But if you look at the 017, that means that is a mixed use residential and chapter land property. So our value is not full value of the property,
Right.
that has been reduced by the chapter land value.
Gotcha.
So somebody can sell it for what they like. And it's a bone of contention in many towns, chapter land values are set by the state,
Okay,
and they're fictional, in my opinion.
they're fictional.
In my
Fictional.
opinion,
They're arbitrary.
because people are selling it for much, much more. But if you go to court, you'll lose by.
Okay, well, I mean, we believe in preserved, I believe in preserved land, so, and the town believes in preserved land.
Well, that's true. If you sell, if I have a piece of chapter land that the state's telling me we have to value $100 an acre, but it sells for $3,000 an acre. what's
That's
the
what you
value of
mean
that
by
land?
fiction, fictional, yeah. Yeah,
But it's a battle I would never win. Deerfield tried it, and they got hammered,
Oh, yeah.
and so it's not worth it.
Wow.
okay, that's a whole
That's
conversation over
Sure.
something.
yeah.
There's some good stories there.
Well, maybe when we talk to Joe Kadair,
Don't know.
nice fellow. Yeah, well, I don't do recently.
And this includes even partial sales, right?
Well, we throw out a partial sale again,
What is a partial sale?
partial value.
Partial valuation.
Like you just
Building
talked
a
about?
house.
And you saw those houses we looked at that were under construction?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If they sold, we compare that to the value.
right, okay,
But the partials will contain, next year, they will be included again, bonus, that's. If you go on a sales table, it would, be
Yes.
like North Farms is gonna occur again next year. To finish this year. Okay, so that was, here's LA 15, okay, go ahead, proceed on.
Now, before we go any further, if we don't sign anything else, other forms, I would like you to sign one and sign the LA 3 and the LA 15. So we can submit them as BOR for their review.
Okay. So do you want us to sign?
The
One
three of
copy?
them, no, when you do it in Gateway,
Oh, in Gateway.
Oh,
okay.
Gateway, yeah. That's which I've been in. So I could have signed last night.
well, I
I didn't.
do not submit the police sign 3 and the 15.
So go on to the Gateway and sign 3 and the 15.
Yeah, release those two.
Gateway is your into the DSL system, which has these forms, and they want you to DocuSign, I guess.
Why don't I walk through it after?
Yeah.
Have
Okay.
you got
That'd be great.
password?
You do.
yes,
Yeah.
but
Okay,
that's
I'll-
all I did.
Okay, well, why don't you, if you've got your password, I'll walk.
Yes. I'll go through with you too.
Stephen or I will walk through it.
I'll do it. I've been there, but I'd like to see it again.
Okay, that's fine. I have to, I should go to Whately or where, like 12:30.
Oh, goodness.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on.
Stephen, one of you will have to do it on the phone because my password's in my computer. I have no idea what it is.
Oh,
I
goodness.
have
You have it? Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Aren't you smart?
Well, we were all given.
Okay,
Okay.
proceed.
for.
So we're to the LA4.
Yes.
So this is a breakdown of property type, parcel count, and total valuation. Something like this.
Do discuss it.
And you said 300 is commercial.
Yeah.
And 50
Yeah,
LA4. Looks like this. Assessment classification report. Might not have gotten one. I don't think she got an LA4. Let's track it down. Abatements. Yeah, just give those to Fred. Fred, these are the abatements. She didn't want to get confused with other papers.
Cause I'm so good with paper.
Yeah. So so there are 50 commercial parcels in this.
Yes.
Ah. Got it.
these figures include the new growth that we generated this year.
They do. Okay. Okay.
It's 50 out of 1,100. Yeah,
So that 1137 includes your personal.
Oh, okay.
includes our what?
Personal property.
Meaning what?
Got it. Businesses with tools.
Those are the accounts that are in the personal property, just part of that total.
Those would be your 501, 502, 504.
I think her question, like, what
What
personal
is
property
that?
would that be? Oh, I say machineries in a business,
You don't do it?
yeah, stuff like that.
Sure, yeah, yeah, machineries and business, any equipment.
Right.
To run the business.
Sure.
Okay,
Copy machines.
what's 12 through 43 that there's 73 of?
Mixed use.
Okay,
You can see the way it breaks down there in the full class.
Yep.
So that's all that in there.
Class industrial, class commercial, class open space, class residential. Yeah. That gives us a total of $377,529.65.
Should we go sell?
What?
377, 529, 644.
Oh, sorry. See, when you get old and you can't see, you got glasses.
one calculator mixes up periods and commas to
It
make
does.
it more confusing.
Okay, so that's basically fiscal year
So
2025.
So the real estate and personal property total value is, we're talking 377.5 million.
Yep. That's what we're looking at.
And what makes something exempt?
Oh, goodness.
Churches.
Yep.
Sign of property, state property.
It's open space.
School, no.
So does that 19 million, is that part of the 377? It's over and above it. Okay.
Okay. That's a healthy amount for exemptions.
19 million out of 377 million? What is that?
Oh,
So it's all 377,
Right, out of,
that's 5%.
5%. I guess it's not.
yeah, what is it? I mean, what is there an,
Well, this building,
no, I don't mean that. I mean, what is the standard percentage of a
oh, there's no
town's
standard
exempt? They're all over the map.
and you look at Amherst, UMass and all that.
Sure, gotcha.
That's everywhere. Some places only got a couple percent. I mean, where I live in Calvin, it's basically
Nothing. Because
Yeah.
there's nothing there except the school. And houses and land.
Peace and quiet.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't mean that as a derogatory. It's just,
That's right.
So this is an
Yeah,
extension of the
that's
LA4,
interesting.
the next
It's just a breakdown showing last year's this year.
Gotcha.
So their value should be on this comparison. 101 is 569. This look 560, 224. Show 230. 7, 520. That's
It's Joseph
Comparison.
Barberry.
value. So the single family are going up 5.7%. What you're showing here. That's where's the
And that's overall, obviously it's not gonna be,
Oh,
you're not gonna 5%, and that's overall.
Right.
overall,
you look at the next page, the total residential.
so single family has risen by 5.7%. We're talking values,
Yeah.
market values, as an average in Whately, they've risen
But that
5.7%.
also includes section houses. So that's part of it.
So there's only been, so
But that,
it's just, it's
is that
real
right,
estate's
Tracy?
increasing.
But that's market value. Is it market value?
94% of our.
right. Okay,
It's easier to compare. If you look to the next page, should the total residential come in for all that? That's all of it.
oh, I see, yeah.
You know, it's 4.8 for all residential, which includes, you know, the 8 breakdowns or whatever. I call it. Open space,
The open space, the big number.
total commercial is 12.1. If you look at commercial, see it shows 14.2, but you got other breakdowns in there.
That's interesting.
Yeah, guys, total up to 137. Industrial is 5.7. Industrial, yes, that's 5.7. Personal property went down 11.5%.
Yes.
Makes sense to me, but I don't,
Probably the appreciation of television.
Sure.
that's what I would
There you go.
think. So, yeah. How do you come up with that number though?
We don't,
Captain's
this sound was a list. Yeah,
That's on the back.
there's basically 7.
The owners, it's the they?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the utility companies. And then foreign companies, we get values from the state. You don't have to deal with.
I know.
But you have to
I try and
understand it, though.
understand the basic
Yeah,
concepts though.
that
Who's
you have to do.
Joseph Barberry?
But why did the electric generating plants go to 0? They exempt now? On the back of the LA for whatever this summary thing, comparison report, LA 4 comparison. 50 to 552 electric generating plants. Why did they go from 5,291,000 down to 0 value? The back page of the first.
The
one.
second page. Good question, Fred.
Why did they go down?
I don't know, I'm gonna check.
Could be solar,
They're
huh?
not saying LA for,
It's all solar.
there's something, no, it's not, there's something wrong there, and I'll have to figure out what it is.
Good catch.
Yeah. Parcel difference 4, no
Central
parcels.
defaulted value.
I see it. Find out what that is, I'll show it to me. Oh. I need you to leave it 4 and 13 alone, I can explain them, but
Yeah.
So I thought, but we're gonna sign LA 15 and 3.
3 and 15.
Gotcha. Form, the one we're looking at, which is, I mixed them up now.
Yes.
This is 4.
Yeah. Thank you, Fred, I didn't see that. Solar, personal property, personal figure, what they don't have.
Yeah, because aren't we going to all utilities, assess them, for electric?
That's solar, I don't know why. You have a solar plant?
Solar, yeah,
We have a
got
solar
five,
firm,
got like 5 solar plants in
we say
solar
plants,
facilities.
facilities.
Where are the agreements for those?
Yes,
Where are they?
I'm town administrator, Miss Sam, I don't know,
All right, then I'll have to get those.
I guess solar, didn't I guess solar?
but
Yeah.
there,
I said that's solar.
there were,
Well, I
What-
just,
what do they
when we're
call it?
discussing this, he
Yeah,
goes from
yeah,
here
yeah,
to here, I
yeah.
said, that's solar.
Yeah.
It's a joke, but turns out it was.
they were assessed of value, but based
Pilot,
pilot agreement, but it had to come back to an assessed value.
right,
We had a
that's
pilot agreement with each solar company and then change that to an assessed value. Kind of a tax, so
I can take care of that, but I will have to get the agreements. I won't know where we had agreements for solar.
yeah, we got 5 or what, I'm guessing
It
5
says
or
that
6.
says four, but
It could be 4.
It took a while. One of them was taking forever to get up and going, did it?
I'll talk to them, I'll talk to the, Stephen and I'll talk to the admin. And then get the, whatever tables they're using. And adjust it.
Did we just knock your
My hair
vacation?
was bright this morning.
Did we just knock your vacation back a bit?
Oh, no. No vacations for me for a while.
Okay,
So if you leave the 4 and 13 on the one, we'll discuss this.
okay.
We need to really do it, be quiet. Being trustee, I'm sorry. When's your next meeting?
We haven't scheduled yet, whenever we need to, next week.
Let's see quickly. When do you usually have your classification here?
Well, it coincides with select board meeting,
Usually in November.
yes.
I think Peter mentioned that. I want to say the 5th, it's coming up,
If this election day, it won't be then.
wouldn't be that bad.
Tuesday, December 3rd.
That would be great.
That's what you're looking at?
Oh, Tuesday what?
So this is a email correspondence, from the town admin from this week. That they will likely hold, classification hearing the first Tuesday of December, December 3rd.
That's wonderful. That's a nice long way.
So we have to determine,
So we need a
Our meeting.
meeting before then.
And you will also
What-
post a meeting for that night
say that,
if more than two, if 2 or more of you are coming to the class. We will have to post a meeting.
Right,
wouldn't
I,
we?
Those are
Three
joint
of you
meeting.
together, you might make a decision and you have to.
That's fine, yeah, that's fine, okay.
So,
So,
hold the meeting with us.
Yeah.
this doesn't make sense to me that there wouldn't be an assumption that assessors would be at a classification meeting.
That's true, but if you make a decision, say you just said something, made a difference, and you vote on it, you have to have a meeting posted so you
That makes sense.
So we're still on the
Okay.
next meeting?
can do a couple of weeks or so.
okay, what is,
You do 3 weeks?
whenever you just, whatever.
What would you like?
That's the middle of, that's the 14th.
Yeah.
You wanna
November
keep it on a
14th.
Thursday,
Well, that's good for me.
14th?
And what time?
I don't care.
Let's do 10.
Just
do
let's agree. I
10.
really thought this was 10.
I just have to write this down and just prepare for another phone call, Stephen. So like, since I missed one or was late to one, I've been
Assessors
not wanting to do
meeting,
that again.
10 o'clock on the 14th.
Got it.
So,
And if, and on the 3rd?
That
That's,
is, well, the
Yeah.
tentative.
and that's the date that the select board will take action on tax rate. When does that have to be into DOR,
If they vote that night, it'll put the next morning.
right, but what's it, can look at the timeline,
Well, actually, that we want it done as quickly as we can, but we want to close the tax rate. I wouldn't go any later than December 3rd.
Yeah.
And
but as far as for DOR setting tax rate, I mean,
they should be able to do it easily without.
right, but I mean, what's the index, if select board doesn't reach agreement on December 3rd, for whatever reason,
The DOR doesn't care when it's in.
Yeah.
What governs it is if the select board doesn't reach an agreement and we do not get the tax rolls out before January 1st.
Yeah.
Cannot collect until May 1st.
right, okay.
That would be a
So
bad
the
thing.
DOR, we can put in the next year if you want. But I much prefer to get this done so we can deal before the 30th of December.
Right, but again, if they don't approve on December 3rd, next meeting would be, what, 2 weeks after that, so you still have time.
It still has time, yes, but it'll be a rush.
Because I'm not sure, like I was saying earlier, we're all in agreement, what's gonna happen on December 3rd.
We will do the best we can to prepare a good statement.
Okay. And will you be there, David?
I'll be there, first, Stephen wants.
Okay, and you will prepare, or Stephen will prepare all the forms and recommendations for the tax classification.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so all these forms will need to be approved by our next meeting, right?
If you can do the 3 and 15.
Two,
that'd be
yeah, we're
good.
doing two today.
And we'll have the 4 and 13. Correct. The next
Okay.
meeting.
Out of curiosity, what kind of ramifications could that?
That could raise the tax rate, well, it wouldn't have, because the DOR would have caught it. And then we would have to start all over again, so it would have been delayed,
Yeah,
so we will fix it and fix the 61.
what time does the select board usually meet?
Don't know, they have to post a time certain, but,
6 p.m.
Okay, I assume this fits into their budget schedule, because doesn't, finance committee have for that?
you think there's more changes to the recount?
I don't know.
We'll check with that client to see if there's any spending coming up.
Now, the other thing happened. November, is there a special town meeting coming up? Yeah, we have to approve that one budget item last year carryover. What's the date for that special town meeting? It was the end of October. But
Yeah,
now
they
it's-
moved it.
Yes, if we get moved on top of my head, I don't know the date. We could have a
November
representative.
12th,
No,
12th
November
November
12th.
12th?
November 12th.
at 7 is what I have in my calendar.
Well, that will not interfere with our
Okay.
saying the 4 and 13, so.
The-
As long as it gets done before the recount is signed, that's all.
All right, the only reason I know that is from the center school work.
Right.
Um,
It's on the warrant for that.
Excuse me.
So, at our next meeting on November 14th. All these LA forms will be approved, and we will have all the information that needs to go to the select board for classification hearing.
Yes, I will draft up a document
Okay,
that has all of that. And in that document, we'll also have, I guess, explanation or implication if they were to do a split tax rate. But further shifting to.
so this question comes up every year, right?
all right, so far, yeah,
Okay, and every year so far, the recommendation from the assessors board has been to not do a split tax rate.
Right.
Okay, so that's information for you. And last year for sure, and I assume previous years, various business owners come to the meeting to decide it, to speak before the select board. Only business owners.
Because they don't want,
Residential owners didn't show up last
Yeah,
year.
they didn't show up, but they can be there too.
Right.
Right.
So just, I don't know what other towns do. But that, there was emphatic request not to change the business rate.
well, other towns may have a percentage of businesses that are far
Right.
greater than ours, that may change their decisions. And you say they come in and you're saying the select board tends to say they've got the money, therefore they should pay more,
Right.
more or less, that's the
They
argument.
do.
Right.
No, that's the argument.
No, I know that's the argument, but is that the history with the Whately Select Board?
For the last 2 years, yes.
That's been their argument,
Ah,
which I disagree with.
And
well, the problem is Joe Schmo doesn't have the money, but Yankee Candle does.
Yes.
Right,
That's,
right.
that there's no distinction in what kind of business you have.
So you're penalizing the little guy. And again, the argument of because they have it just doesn't sit well with me. I mean, I've got money, but that guy under the bridge has nothing.
Right.
Should I have to give the guy on the bridge more because to him, I'm quite rich? So it's the argument of
Well, now you're
because,
getting into big philosophical
We are.
issues that our country
Right.
someday will hopefully
Yeah.
tackle.
but for this argument, because they've got the money, they should. I mean, if there are laws if as long as we can support with data, that's fine, but subjectively saying that to me is wrong. Just
Well, I'm not sure I would go that far, but that's a bigger issue than us.
I'm still a little concerned the meeting on the 14th. And I guess in the past, we've had that meeting and had that meeting in the evening. That gave
Oh,
the community more opportunity to attend if they wanted to.
that's a
Doing it during the
that's a
day,
good point.
it's kind of limiting that. Because that has to be posted as a public meeting to talk about tax classification.
That's an excellent point.
Because in the past, this board was criticized that you didn't advertise it and you didn't take there's no minutes of that meeting recorded. So the select board kind of said that that's not an official recommendation from the Board of Assessors because it's a public. And I don't want to get into that.
So you're saying we need a motion,
We need to make it a public meeting.
we need a meeting before the classification here?
Yes. Yes, the Board of Assessors need a meeting to talk about that. Information is going to be presented at the classification here to allows us to talk about it, take whatever action we need, and it allows the public to come in and hear what we're doing and to speak their piece if they want.
Okay.
Because that, like I say, that has been an argument in the past, right? You didn't follow the right rules of open meeting law to get all the public input.
Okay, so I agree with the point you're making, but let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
is it actually an accurate assumption that evening is better? Because wouldn't this, if business owners are affected, doesn't a meeting during their work time make it available to them?
Yes and no, it depends on the business. If your local shop, say, open during the day, yes, but if you're, say, contractor doing work wherever, may not be. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not opposed to an evening meeting, but I am opposed to saying that evenings are always better. Because the reality is, if you're a parent, they're not necessarily better.
Do the meeting, to go to a recommendation, select board, is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Well,
I
that-
don't care whether it's day or night, that's not, why would you do?
The week before the select board meeting. Yeah,
well,
'cause
would we do it then,
if
or
we
would do
want
it
it-
on the 14th?
No, the 14th is to discuss these other forms and
Okay,
discuss with you what a recommendation might be, right?
Or if you want me to do the whole thing now, I hear what Fred said, we can do the whole thing now. Just be a little bit longer, that's all. But do you wanna do it in the evening, or do you wanna do?
I'd like to have that, if we're only gonna do one meeting, to do it all, I'd like to put it,
So that's what,
We do the evening, would it be alright if we met the day before, Wednesday, 13th, at this 7 PM?
but I got,
As I say, I'm generally pretty flexible.
Monday, the
I'd prefer not Monday or Tuesday for an evening meeting, but I'm fine with a different, the 20th. Is Wednesday in general better for you, Stephen?
at that time.
So the question is, can we do the evening of Wednesday, the 20th, rather than the morning of the 14th? Or yeah, is that,
can you do the Wednesday, Fred?
yeah,
I can do, I'm easy.
okay,
So this meeting's changed to when?
20th
This would be the 20th
at 7,
at 7 p.m.
why do you want 7?
right, we want 6,
If we're talking about making it longer, yes, I'd rather not
okay, 6,
start later.
okay, we'd have to ask Stephen to look at the calendar, what's available, meetings that we're getting into budget season, finance committee and other committees, so.
Okay. I will check on that.
Or even select board, whenever the meeting, I don't know that. But did we meet on Tuesday?
I guess it's extended.
Mine's Monday.
And the other thing that's related to this, and I've heard from others, select board and others, that they don't need a recommendation from the board of assessors. Present the information, select board decides. There's nothing in the regulations that say that the board of assessors has to approve. It all comes back to the select.
So we just come up with the math options?
Right, we just come up with options and present it to them. I guess I would ask, I'm asking, I guess, Stephen to check that, to see, is there a requirement, this classification hearing process where the board of assessors has to make a recommendation? Is there a requirement to do that? If there isn't, we're just presenting information, and it doesn't matter what our view is, because that's kind of what I've been hearing some of the past. It's up to the 3 board members. decide what they want to do for the town. Because we presented all kind of data information before, uh, supporting one position or another, and comes down to their subjective decision.
Yeah, it does, but I mean, there's always been recommendations, and I think we've done, and any board I've been at,
Yeah,
but I mean, whether it's compulsory or not, I don't.
No.
So we will find out.
It almost seems like if there should be a recommendation, it almost seems like it should come from the finance committee.
well, it could be. But then you're involving another committee to get our recommendations to.
Yeah, I
And-
know.
And when do they meet, and
Yeah.
when do we meet with them to
Yeah,
talk
so
about it?
this is a good point to clarify.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're always good, right?
because it did come up at last year's, I think, finance committee. I think I was at the meeting, or I presented them with, fact sheets of our position, and I don't know whether they took a vote on it or not, or made a position on it or not. That was before the classification.
I remember somebody from the finance committee was at
Yeah.
the classification hearing.
Yeah, their chair was, I think.
That's a good question.
We can find that out, so.
Yeah.
We just call our rep and ask them.
Find out if finance committee needs to take action or form of our position before it goes to the select board.
It's all strange to me because we just went to the select board, we give them information, they posted the meeting and people showed up, they showed up.
Yeah. So it's been different here in the last 2 years.
Well, gotta tell you, you're not alone, because I've come across it. I had to work on orange last year, well,
Hmm.
one of the select board wanted it, in fact, two of the select board wanted it out of five. The guys, it was actually almost, it was not a nice meeting.
Yeah. Right.
Come on,
Right.
you left me hanging there. I wanted to know where you were gonna go.
I was, you know, at one stage I just sat back,
Go
your
ahead.
decision, go for it.
Uh,
But it could come down to, the meeting on December 3rd, if, and it's happened in the past, to show what's the impact on individuals. We can give a total, an average value for residential. Let's say, I want to see the breakdown for the guy that's assessed at 200, to the property that's assessed at 2 million. Tell me how much impact that is on their taxes.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
We can't do that in a meeting without running the tables to see. And of course, the other part depends on how much are you shifting the tax rate,
That's right.
right? And you can't do that in a meeting unless Stephen can do it on a computer in a meeting. And that's what could result in another meeting after December 3rd. If they want that information.
Have they? Requested that in the
It's come
past?
close to that.
No.
Well, yes, the first year we went into this, that was presented and discussed.
Hmm.
You say, look at the average property owner, it's this value, and the average commercial is this.
So is that not should that be part of the preparation for the meeting?
I don't
Those kinds
know.
of answering those predicted questions?
Well, we would usually say with the average single family and the average commercial,
Right.
based on, say, 10, 15, 20. The most you can shift is 50%.
Right.
Okay, so we could do 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 on the one property. For the residential, single family, and a commercial on average,
Right,
if you will. Commercial average doesn't be much figure, right?
right.
Sure.
There's a big range in
Commercial, yes.
But is that something that Stephen can do at the meeting? Because because it could come up, well, if we adjust only 20%, these are the average values. And if we adjust it 50%, the limit, these are the values. That's something that you could come up with at the meeting.
Do it beforehand, put in the document for the meeting.
Well,
Or we could have it on our site and say this is what it's gonna be.
in the past, the assessors were never asked what that shift should be.
No, I'm not saying that. Okay, I guess what I'm saying is this, we can compute the average value for single family
Yeah.
commercial. And at the same time, we can create, we have an idea what the tax rate is going to be, the single tax rate.
Yeah.
What we tell us that is, and then we can do what would be a 10% shift in the commercial.
Right.
And show the tax rate, you know, how it costs in the residential, what it would cost in commercial. We do it by degrees of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50.
Yeah, okay,
So we can put that in the document if that's.
sure, yeah,
Can we do instead of the or in addition to the average, what the highest and lowest
Sure.
shifts would be?
Okay.
So I think that may be more meaningful,
sure.
given how big the spread of commercial value and residential value is.
Not a problem.
So you could do that for November,
14. Yes, you like.
November
The
10th.
20th.
November 20th.
And now we make
Okay.
sure 14th is out of your calendar,
You're right.
20th
20th at
is in.
6.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, what else do we have today? Today, what's the other forms here?
So we get the Form 13 sorted, forget it.
Oh, okay,
So we're just, okay, so,
We'll discuss that in the meeting.
Gotcha. so LA3, LA15, you're gonna walk us through how to sign.
You got that?
and our new, the other table is a growth here, growth table,
That's a table there, but that's part of it.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he said he was doing it.
If we keep that all together, it's not gonna change.
So this is the new growth report, right?
Uh-oh,
Oh, dear
What's
me,
that, though?
I might have to go get one.
you're gonna start looking like me?
I'm gonna have to go get a donut.
Oh,
I'll wait for the meeting then.
If you wanna look at this page here. LA13. Well, that's showing you there, but that's a summary of the abatements you did this year. And we can only find 4. And also the new growth by class. As you can see, your new growth is coming up to nearly $118,586.
say the second thing you said again. I was looking for 4 because I only see 2.
For what? No,
Abatements.
sorry, no. There's 4 abatements altogether. Column A, there's 2 single family abatements.
Yeah,
Or section, oh, sorry, there's 4 personal property abatements. So
Ah,
there's 6 altogether.
got it.
And then on the next column, it shows the values total.
Yeah. The values of those abatements.
Yeah.
Okay,
And assessment dollars, not tax dollars.
okay,
And then the next column shows you the year for this year, how much each one. So far. And that comes to 8,600,000. And that gives you a value of or actual tax dollars that you can apply to the levy, 118,596 for this coming year.
okay.
Do you know how we calculate
The tax levy growth?
Huh?
What figure, do I know how to,
that? 118,596.
yeah, that's the tax levy growth. Yeah. Do I know how?
Basically, what we do is that 8,600,000,
Yeah.
that's the value we're increasing it by. And we multiply that by last year's tax rate,
Okay,
and that gives us 118,000
that becomes the new tax levy growth.
part of it, yeah. Part of it,
Part of it.
yes. Then you get the 2.5% as well.
And the tax levy and the tax ceiling has already been established.
What?
Tax levy and tax ceiling. The
Well,
tax levy ceiling and the tax levy.
you're getting very far ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
Good.
Those are about to be determined,
There will be determined, and we will discuss that for the classification here.
but because we don't have
You don't have any of that area we haven't given.
there's no recap statement now.
And
But I
here-
thought I saw one online.
It's online, but it's not complete.
Here we're talking fiscal years, which are July 1 through June 30th, right? So what are we in now? Fiscal,
25.
okay. So July 1, 24 through June 30th, 25.
Correct.
And the multiplication was by fiscal year 24's tax rate. Okay,
The nice thing, we used to have to do all this by hand.
No
ourselves. Now the
way.
DOR worksheet. That's
No
great.
way. That'd have been hours.
well, listen, did you ever see Hidden Figures? The original use
Yes.
of the term computer? I mean, it's
She goes to the work computing
it's
part. here that she had.
amazing to think about.
Under, this one table with new growth. Uh, For the commercial, why isn't Eversource shown here? Yeah. the bottom, you've
This
got
is the one,
utility
this is the
companies. It goes
report
back
that
to
got us
that other,
going.
sheet
we
that
are
we
now.
asked about the electrical,
This one was real small.
No,
solar and personal property for Eversource. Don't they pay personal property?
Yeah, but depend on how many you put this year.
They've been adding new growth for the last 2 or 3 years in town. Why isn't it showing up anywhere?
I'll have to check if they didn't report it. If they didn't report it, I'll check with our personal property person, see if she got it.
so
It
what
should
is
be.
Eversource, is that connected to the solar too? Or
Well,
what
they're the
is
ones putting,
Eversource?
they're the ones putting all the new poles in, all up and down Christian Lane, Long Plain Road. That was all Eversource.
Oh.
And you would assume that there's a
We have
growth
no
value
poles on
put in for
Chestnut
that.
Plain Road.
I don't know
Where-
if they did any there.
Where was I?
Got
No,
no-
Long Plain.
Okay,
On Christian Lane, remember for 2 years, they had the double poles up
okay.
all along the poles, and that, well, it was connected with the solar. The reason they were doing it was for solar, to facilitate solar electricity, I guess.
Eversource is Avstar, right?
No, I don't know.
Good question. It's,
Is it ants?
they-
I,
I think you're right. It's been,
maybe that's it. I don't know.
Their name did change.
But that's-
well, they are using multiple names,
Yes,
which
they
is what's making it confusing.
If that's personal property, then they should be on the other table for assessed values.
What do you mean?
In this other back page here, we didn't show anything for LA4, yeah. Says values, you don't show anything electric generating plant.
Yeah, but they're flat. Okay, we're good.
That's the one where we know is not correct.
550, 552
No,
plant.
no, 555. Solar. The public utilities are 504s, that's what I started
Yeah.
commercial,
Okay,
and that's going up by 3 million this year.
where's that?
If you look at that formula about the LA4 comparison. LA for last year, the valuation was 9,357,000.
Yeah, okay. Public utilities, okay. It's 504.
Well, having said that, then you said the -5 million was incorrect. Maybe it is
But
correct.
that's for the solar, no, that's wrong,
Okay,
that is definitely wrong.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
okay. Okay, will you look into that? And if it's North Star or
Anstar, I don't know the answer,
Eversource or whoever, yeah.
but we'll check with Jelly, but I'm fairly sure that's what it's.
Okay.
So I have that figure. I have the figure. So the figure in growth for that is 206,500. So that is the
That's, okay, it's not, that's what listed on this thing. And that's Eversource is the same.
Yeah.
But where's the
Oh, okay.
comparison? It's
The
right
chance, I don't know why they
I
changed it,
don't
must be some tax dodge or something.
Okay, so for personal property here, Stephen, you mailed out the forms for them to submit personal property?
I have not mailed that one.
You would have done that before we started, they were due March first.
And did we do that before? Was that done?
Well, yes, we sent them to, we sent them to our personal property, yes. That was done and we got them.
Oh, okay. When do they go out? Does the request go out? They're due in March?
Yeah, if it's due March. I like to give them a couple months, something that just was Steve and gets them at the start of the year.
Okay.
But well before March first.
Okay. And do you have a listing of who submitted personal property
Yes.
values? Do we want to see who submitted personal property?
Do we need this?
If you're gonna say that one, you have to put executive session. If you wanna see their forms of list, it's gotta be an executive session. Or if you just wanna see a list of who's submitted, that's different. Do that.
Because in the past, there was one or two businesses that didn't submit, fell through the cracks.
So you would like to check that
Yes.
They're all,
they're all in.
reported.
They're all reported,
Yeah.
yes.
Sure. So you just want the list of businesses that submit,
Right.
not a breakdown of the.
No, right.
Okay, sure.
Because there is an exemption of under 5,000. 5,000. Good. So if that's true, why is some of these Amherst farmers about 4,000? Is that still? And you got some 800 here?
That's good.
Oh, that's okay, it's growth, not personal property. Okay.
So something like the 176 State Road completed building growth. That means it went from some smaller percentage to 100%.
Yes.
The storage,
I want to understand what completed building means.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see you on that table. Personal property. Okay. What else we need here? Okay, so we need to go into executive session to talk about values.
You guys want to talk about, but I need to split, so Stephen will work through the.
Okay.
Right, well, the board was there, so then,
we were there.
Okay.
and you will sign the 3 and 15?
Sure, we were hoping to do that after this meeting with Steve.
Yeah, can we?
Okay, we will. That's it. Got it.
Okay.
I'm
No
sorry,
time
I
like
have
the
to leave.
That's
present.
okay.
This time of year, I'm all over.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
Good to see you all.
Good to see
Hey,
you.
guys.
Bye safely.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, David.
Don't do anything.
Oh, Okay,
Well, that leaves us some room, doesn't it?
okay, make a motion that we go into executive session and talk about some personal property values.
Seconded,
Okay, we'll call vote, yes,
yes.
Aye.
okay,
Aye.
okay, and we will not be
Yes.
returning to open meeting. Open meeting, this, open meeting is now closed.